Familiarizing with ArcGis tool, prepared by Julius. ArcGis is a software that assists us to complete the tasks. ArcGis has been used as a software tool in GIS studies since 1999. GIS tasks or exercise exposing us on how to input data using ArcCatalog and ArcMap. Chapter 1, Task 1, Introduction to ArcCatalog. Firstly, connect ArcCatalog with Chapter 1. Second, review the geography of IMIDA streams HHP. Third is raster the dataset of IMIDALAT. Fourth is creating the personal geodatabase. Fifth is inputting data of raster to geodatabase. The second last is second option to import the data. And lastly is the complete data operations. Next is Chapter 1, which is Task 2 and introduce to ArcMap. Firstly, rename the layer using an ArcMap. Then, adding the IMIDALAT and EMIDA stream to the Task 2, changing the symbol for EMIDA stream. Then, classify the IMIDALAT into an elevation zone. Next, change the color scheme for IMIDALAT using a color ramp. After that, derive a slope layer from IMIDALAT. Lastly, save the Task 2 as a map document. Next is Chapter 2, which is coordinate the system. Firstly, in Task 1, connect the ArcCatalog to the Chapter 2. Then, define the coordinate system for IDL. Next is projected the IDL to the IDTM coordinate system. Lastly, we'll get a successful verified the projected. For Task 2, start with verify the station geographic coordinate system. Next, will be successful projected into the same IDTM coordinate system. Chapter 2 for Task 3. Start with rename the data frame using a ArcMap and projected the snow event and save the output to the shapefile. For Task 4, start adding data and secondly is define the coordinate system. Next is Chapter 4, which is to raster the data model. For Task 1, connect the ArcCatalog to Chapter 4. Next, save the output raster as menabots. And the next is assign the properties. Lastly, rename data frame in the ArcMap. Meanwhile, in Task 2, start by inserting new data and rename. Change the symbol. And the third step is RGB composite and the end. For Task 3, start by inserting new data frame in the ArcMap. Second, feature to raster tool. Third, inserting the classified value. For Chapter 5, which is GIS data acquisition. For Task 1, access to National Elevation Dataset NED and save the data. Second is measure the longitude and latitude. The third, rename data on a ArcMap. Lastly, the display of IMIDA stream. For Task 2, must start with the rename the shapefile. Second, change the symbol and unselectable the land date. Third is editing the environment process. And lastly, digitize polygon and edit the attribute table of the trial. Next is Chapter 5, Task 3 and 4, which is at the Task 3, start inserting the data frame event text and selected projected coordinate system. Second is save the data as a shapefile. The save output as event shape after exporting all feature. Meanwhile, for the Task 4, must start with access the US Census Bureau website and download. Next, launch Google Earth and navigate to 2010 GZ country 15. Chapter 6, which is geometric transformation. For task 1, start by launching the ArcMap and rename the data. Second is zoom in on hot native and locate the 4 control points. Lastly, update the coordinate value of the 4 control points. For task 7, which is spatial data accuracy and quality, the task 1 start by launching a ArcMap and change the name of data frame. Then edit the edit map 2 using a edit map 3 as a guideline. Third is merge the polygons of 74 and 75. Next, cut the polygon 71 and lastly reshape the polygon 73. That is the last step of chapter 7, task 1. To conclude, I found out that ArcGis require a lot of time to understand the instruction of every task, which is every task need a very detailed step. Not all tasks are completely done because some tasks are hard for me to understand, and some tasks I failed to follow the steps that are stated in the instruction. Thank you.